Mr. T. You know that moment when cameras swarm a star and you can feel the tension crackle? Mr. T once joked that when folks tailed him for dirt, the kid from the South Side wanted to jam them. Tough talk, sure. But here's the curveball. The loudest icon of the 80 seconds, the man of the mohawk, and the line, "I pity the fool," didn't fade because he ran out of attitude. He stepped away for reasons that will flip how you remember him. Illness that nearly broke him, faith that rebuilt him, and choices that traded fame for peace. Ready to see the real story behind Mr. T's disappearance? Let's roll. Before the gold and the glare, there was Lawrence Tureaud, born the 21st of May 1952, youngest of 12, in a cramped apartment on Chicago's South Side. His father, a minister, left when Larry was 5, and his mother hustled to keep 12 kids fed. Poverty, prejudice, and pride forged a promise in him: earn respect, don't beg for it. At 18, he made that promise official by changing his name to Mr. T. Say Mr., he reasoned, and you're saying, I'm a grown man. Bold, defiant, unforgettable. He was a gifted athlete, wrestling champ, football player, martial arts student who snagged a scholarship to Prairie View A&M University. Freshman year, he got expelled for disciplinary issues. Now, that could have been the whole story, another talent lost. Instead, he pivoted, joined the U.S. Army, became military police, and learned steel-hard discipline. After service, he chased the NFL, trying out for the Green Bay Packers. But a knee injury slammed that door shut, so he bounced, literally working as a bouncer at nightclubs. If a fight started, Mr. T finished it. He reportedly handled hundreds of confrontations without a loss. The look was born there. The mountain of gold chains collected from the club floor and worn so owners could claim them. And the fierce mohawk inspired by West African warriors. He leveled up to bodyguard, protecting Michael Jackson, Steve McQueen, Diana Ross, and Muhammad Ali. Offers to be a hitman? He turned those down flat. The man was muscle, but he also had a code. Then, TV tossed him a lifeline. In 1980, a competition for the toughest bouncer aired. Before the final, he quipped he pitied whoever fought him, then knocked the guy out in under a minute. Sylvester Stallone saw that and cast him as Clubber Lang in Rocky III, 1982. Boom, instant pop culture thunderclap. 1 year later came The A-Team, 1983, 1987, and B.A. Baracus mechanic, muscle, terrified of flying, stole every scene. The wage skyrocketed, the poster wall filled up, and even the White House photo op happened with Nancy Reagan. He launched a Saturday morning cartoon, a breakfast cereal, an upbeat life skills video, even a rap album telling kids to respect their parents and ditch drugs. In a decade obsessed with big personalities, Mr. T was the biggest. But the action world was changing. By the late 80 seconds, audiences wanted either superhuman muscle, like Arnold Schwarzenegger's Cyborg, or more psychologically layered heroes. The one-note tough guy archetype started to feel dated. His follow-up series, T&T, 1988, 1990, had heart but never hit global heat. A public headache didn't help. He clear-cut more than 100 trees on his Lake Forest property in 1987 and got roasted for it. The spotlight dimmed. Then came the sucker punch no stuntman could take for him. In 1995, Mr. T was diagnosed with cutaneous T-cell lymphoma, a rare cancer that, cruelly, shared his initial. Multiple rounds of chemo wrecked his strength. He once described the lesions spreading like popcorn under his skin. Work dwindled to small appearances. Pride took a hit. The man who once embodied swagger was suddenly fighting just to stand upright. For about 6 years, survival was the job. By 2001, remission arrived. But something had shifted. The chase for bigger roles, louder entrances, and faster money? Not the goal anymore. Mr. T leaned into what had carried him through the darkest nights. Faith. He'd been baptized as a kid and called himself born again back in the 70s, but now it shaped every decision. Fame might fade. Faith doesn't. That compass led to a move that stunned fans after Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Watching people lose everything, he gave up wearing gold. How can I shine, he reasoned, when others have nothing? The chains were gone. The heart stayed. Hollywood kept calling, but he answered only when it fit the values. He turned down a cameo in the 2010 Ampere's Team movie because he felt the tone drifted too violent and sexy compared to the family-friendly spirit of the show. He'd rather do small, human-centered projects, like a 2006 reality series where he helped people turn their lives around, or step onto Dancing with the Stars in 2017 and waltz to Amazing Grace, then donate his earnings to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Less flash, more purpose. Of course, there were professional bumps too. Rumors say George Peppard, the original team leader on the A-Team, bristled when Mr. T became the audience favorite. In wrestling, he was a crossover draw appearing at WrestleMania alongside Hulk Hogan. But old-school pros like Rowdy, Roddy, Piper didn't love an actor invading their ring. And Hollywood? It kept offering the same part in a new jacket. Be the heavy again. Mr. T wanted to be more than the scowl and the chains. Say no too often, and the phone stops ringing. Say yes too often, and you're a caricature. That's a trap. So he chose door number 3, life. He kept family private, pouring energy into being a dad. His daughter, Erica Clark, built a stand-up career on her own terms, and he focused on community work, faith, and encouragement. On social media, you'll catch him sharing scripture, gratitude, and grit. No clout chasing, just steady hope. When recognition came, like the 2014 induction into the celebrity wing of the Wrestling Hall of Fame, he spent most of his speech praising his mother and, honestly, all mothers. Classic Mr. T, the toughest guy in the room with the softest spot for the woman who raised him. Now, does that mean he vanished? Not really. His image still echoes everywhere. The mohawk, the catchphrase, the action figure pose frozen in time. Younger fans meet him through memes. Older fans smile at the memory of B.A. Baracus refusing to get on a plane. The man himself? He divides time between quieter places, far from red carpets, and shows up where it matters, handing out clothes, lifting spirits, showing what strength looks like after the lights go down. It isn't silence. It's intention. If this story surprised you or gave you chills, show some love, drop a like, hit subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss the next deep dive into the real lives behind the legends. And hey, tell me in the comments, which icon's lost years should we unpack next?